Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel of James 13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are also listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into your selection. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Leo? Starting off with Justice. That's fun. And the Success card. We like that too. Okay. What are we evaluating here? Yeah. I feel like you're being nice. Why are we questioning that? I think you're being nice. What's wrong with that? Why are why am I questioning that? You feel like you're being nice. No, that's not where we're going with this. I don't want to be nice, but I am. Maybe that's more right. I don't want to be nice about it, but I am for the moment. Okay. This is a retrospect type thing. I feel like the information was there, and I didn't really overanalyze it. The information was there, but I did not overanalyze it. There were some problems. Some things got messed up. You fixed it. I feel like you got in there and you fixed it. What I didn't know was that I may have been blamed for things I did not do. Ooh. And you're being nice about this. Why? That's interesting. What is... Yeah, I thought somebody was more loyal to me than they actually are. That's the first thing I'm getting. And I feel like I didn't want to really believe it at first. I feel like I didn't want to believe it. Especially because you fixed whatever the problem was, but then you got blamed for the problem, and you're like, wait a minute, what? I fixed it. I didn't create it. But then you're blaming me for it? I was the one who fixed it, not the one who made it. You're being nice about it. I don't feel like you want to be, but there's a reason for this. The Justice energy is coming through. I feel like I'm not going to let this person use me as some type of scapegoat. If I really say what I'm thinking, I feel like they're going to twist it, and I'm not allowing it. I feel like, nope. Just desserts are coming in. I'm going to let this situation solve itself. You physically might be moving yourself away from the situation, keeping yourself busy, keeping yourself so you can't really get involved in it. Other people are looking at the evidence. Other people are sorting it out. They're seeing who actually did what. It reminds me of when I worked on computer systems, your little handle, whatever you want to call it, your little sign-in number is connected to every little thing you do in the computer. They can see what you accessed, what you touched, what you changed. They can see the whole thing. And it's kind of like, I don't need to do anything. I just need to step back and let it sort itself out. I feel like if I get involved, I'm going to be used as a scapegoat, and they're going to try to make it look like I did this or I did that. If I just step back and play innocent with it, mostly because I am innocent, people who did what they did can pay for what they did. I don't want to be nice about it. I keep getting that. But I also feel like, even though I don't want to be nice about it, the more I hold back, the more I stay out of it, the more it sorts out the way it should. Okay. This is a weird moment. Because I feel like somebody's trying to trigger you. And I don't want to play this game, is what I keep getting. So I don't know what's going on here, because I feel like it's depending on your specific story. I do feel like somebody's trying to trigger you, but you're getting out of it somehow. You're moving away from it. You might be getting a heads up from somebody else, and you're just preparing yourself for it. You're not allowing it to happen. I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna, How to Mend Your Broken Heart. There's exercises in that book that help you de-stress from other people, so that way you're not reacting the way they want you to react, you're reacting the way you want to react. Because sometimes, you know how people are, they get right in your face or they do something wonky, you can have a knee-jerk reaction. That book, in case you're having an issue with that, very helpful to keep things in your control, not somebody else's control who just wants to trigger you. If you just, you know, in case you need that. This is changing. Like somebody, this is weird because somebody, I feel like they are who they are, and they are realigning themselves with how they look at you at this point, which means if they've been this unscrupulous person, they've been this unscrupulous person the whole time. But now that they feel like you're not there for them to be, you're not going to take the blame for them, nor should you. I don't think that was ever on the table anyway, but they seem to have thought that they could have used you for a scapegoat, and you're not allowing that. Now they seem to be very bothered by you. Well, if you're not going to let me use you to my ability, if you're not going to let me use you for my benefit, then I don't want anything to do with you. Good. Like, whatever. That's, what? Is it really like that? Like, community, is it really like that? Yeah. 9 of Cups reversed. Somebody who's not really self-sufficient and dependent on others, aka maybe you. And then the Emperor coming in like that, which is telling me somebody is not on the level. When the Emperor is out of balance, that's not good. That's people just doing what they want. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care what's real. They don't care what's true. This energy, I feel like they're going to be like, well, Leo, because you wouldn't bail me out of this, I'm never going to look out for you again. And it's kind of like, I don't need a friend like you. Friend. I don't need that. I'm not a Leo, I'm a Pisces, but still. It's almost like they're like, oh, by the way, Leo, I'm not going to have your back anymore. You never did. They never did. It's just really warped because it's almost like they feel like, well, now that you didn't let me use you, you know, I'm going to make you pay for that, you know, whatever. Because I get that there could be some energy here where they think they're going to cause problems for you. I don't think it's going to work out that way. In fact, I think you might have helped this person a lot more than you realize, a lot more than they realize even. And when you stop helping them and they think they're going to come for you, I think reality is going to hit hard on that one. That's not how this is going to play out. But I do feel like they're going to try to be a problem. I just also think they're going to fail miserably at it. And I don't really think there's anything you have to do about it. I feel like you just got to keep doing the same thing you do without even paying attention to them. They're going to sink their own ship. I think this person, how do other people feel about this person? The Tower reversed is kind of like the Tower already fell. And then I get the Queen of Pentacles coming in like this. Other people might already be like looking to, you know, this person already has enemies. That Queen of Pentacles, that's a sly one. When it's coming in like this, that means there's some negative attributes, there's some honoring, there's a little bit of both going on there. So this other people, somebody else has this person's number and it's about to come up. I feel like the highlight of this is you don't have to be in the middle of this. This does not have to be your problem. This could get messy. This person wants to make it as messy as they possibly could. Doesn't have to be your mess. I don't know. There's somebody else here who's already invested and been looking for their moment. Let it be theirs. Let it be theirs. I feel like there's a lot more going on there than with you anyway. So it's like this person has screwed you over X amount of times. Multiply that a few times over. That's how many times this other person got it. So I'm just saying. Somebody's been waiting for their opportunity to get even with this one. I keep getting like staying out of it, keeping yourself away from it. It's best for you and the whole situation. And somebody else who wants their moment in the sun is going to have it. You guys get this. You guys are in this. You guys, the sun is your sun. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. The sun is your thing. After this plays out, there's going to be a lot of things going differently. I don't know what's going on with that person, whoever that is, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to overinvest in their story. They're not really the same connection with you going forward. Even if, it, for example, say it's a business thing and say it's somebody you have to work with, you just have to work with them for whatever reason. They don't have the ability to cause you issues. I actually feel like they're skating on thin ice and they have to watch themselves. So I don't feel like they're going to be in a position to cause you issue anymore. They are saying, though, be careful not to completely count them out of the game. Don't feel like this is just over and you won the game. If they're still around in some respect, be aware of it. Be very much aware of it because it feels like it's a win. The Lovers card coming in can be like a success, like a passing the test, like this is a good thing. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to. This person is who they are still. Remember that. They are who they are. This isn't like a moment where they learned something. Not in a positive way. They didn't learn to be a better person in this situation is what I'm getting. They just learned that they better watch themselves before they get into even deeper trouble. So it's almost like, you know, when you have a person who like has been doing something and sort of getting away with it, and then they get called out and they get slapped on the hand and they're like, don't be doing that again because next time I'm going to break your hand. You know, I'm a Gen Xer, so that's kind of how it came across to me. I'll slap it this time, I'll break it next time. Don't do that again. And I feel like that's what they're afraid of. But if they got the opportunity where, oh, the person who was going to hurt me left, I can go back to doing what I was doing before, they will go back to doing what they were doing before. They're just fearing the consequence at this point. As long as you see it that way and you're aware of it, I feel like it's kind of like you just keep an eye on it, keep your energy light and enjoy what you want to enjoy, but like let them think that you're over it if you want to, but keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it is what I keep getting. You don't have to like watch it constantly. You'll see it if it starts going out of balance. I feel like one of the ways is like figuring out why they're staying in line. What are they afraid of? What consequence are they afraid of? And who would carry out that consequence if it did go out of balance again? And as long as that certain person is around or that certain situation is still in effect, then you're all right. But keep your eye on it, though. Keep your eye on it. Make sure this works to your advantage going forward. Realize if that person gets a chance and they feel like they're going to get the green light to go back to the way that they did things before, they will go back to the way they did things before. We don't need that. What is that? So, like, I know you guys communicate you guys are very good communicators in my opinion. I've heard of a couple different versions, but like you guys put it right out there what you're thinking. I think there's a benefit to that personally. There's a moment coming up later where the situation is going to be, I feel like it's going to be reviewed. You got the moon reversed where the truth is coming forward. And then you got the Six of Pentacles where people are trying to like kind of like make sense of something, kind of call it out, but not too directly. This reminds me of like when I used to be a part of meetings at work, and then we'd have somebody who was like, you know, clocking in 20 minutes late, but we'd all have to come in to, it's like a unit meeting, and then they'd have to talk about attendance policy. Meanwhile, the rest of us are all showing up when we're supposed to, but instead of them addressing the one person who was, you know, late a few times over, instead of directing it to them directly, they're just kind of directing it to the whole group so that they're not singling somebody out, which drives me nuts. But that's its own thing. I do feel like it's coming around again, but it's coming around in a weird way where we're not directly calling somebody out, but we're definitely addressing a behavior that a certain somebody clearly did. And I feel like this is a moment where I feel like you shouldn't feel bad if you want to call something out and just say exactly what happened. In fact, if you're gonna, I feel like they're saying take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only, because I feel like this is a little itchy scratchy. If you're gonna call it out, bring the receipts. I keep going. That's what I keep getting. If you're gonna call it out, bring the receipts. Don't hold back. This might be your moment. This might be your moment. If you're gonna call it out, bring the receipts. And if you do, this is judgment in your favor. And this is going to change the whole game. And this is going to make people rethink about what they're allowing in this situation. Take that with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. Like, this is completely your business, what you're going to do. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. Because I'm getting, if you call it out and bring receipts, that's not going to be a little thing, because you're going to be like, you're going to bring receipts. I get the judgment will be cast, and then once it changes, you can't put it back in the box. That's what I keep getting with the Jack in the Box thing here. What does it say? Vast Vistas. That reminds me of Jack in the Box. Once Jack's out of the box, Jack's not going back in that box. It's like, no, it was stuffy in there, and it was cramped, and I'm not going back in there. Once Jack's out of the box, we're not going back in the box. Keep that in mind. Which is, if you're going to open the door and walk through it, there's no walking back through it. It's kind of like jumping out of an airplane. Once you jump out, you jumped out. Anything else with this? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.